to welcome everyone to episode 1, season 1 of the Find Your Challenge podcast. My name is Sean Stringham with Game On Live Studio. I'm joined here with my first guest of the podcast. It is extremely appropriate that it's my better half, Melissa. Welcome, Melissa. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Are you pretty excited and pretty...
I'm nervous.
What are you nervous for?
I don't know.
So, Melissa, this is kind of a new experience. We've been on a journey we just passed our 32nd year anniversary. Is that true? 31? Coming up on 32? Coming up on, sometimes when, do you lose track of time a little bit?
Years just
like
together.
The love is just so great that it's just like all you need is love, right?
Of course.
So, Melissa, thanks for joining. I appreciate you being here. I know this is outside of your comfort zone. We're trying new things. We're trying to kick off this podcast. We're talking about, the whole emphasis of the podcast is about challenge and finding challenge. So I want you to think about that. But I also kind of want you to think about over the last 5 years with Game On Live Studio, as we have been going down this pathway and building this organization and this company together. What do you feel like has been the greatest challenge that we have overcome as a company, and also maybe something that we have overcome, the two of us personally?
Oh, that's a tough one. I feel like you're always overcoming challenges with the company.
That's kind
of
what. Which day is it?
Yeah, what day? What internet are we trying to solve for? What? It just feels like trying to find the right thing to solve for whatever problem presents.
Exactly.
It just feels like those.
Can you think of a time maybe where we've been, any event or any kind of thing where it's like, oh man, like that is the end, right? Like that is going to be like, how are we going to get through this type situation? And like how are we going to pull the rabbit out of the hat this time? Can you think of anything?
Rugby 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
That was rough.
Is that rough. the first NAI sevens?
Yeah. Set
the stage. What were we?
That was, we'd gone the day before and tested all of the internet, and then it all worked, and we went to go live, and none of it would go live.
I think I scarred you emotionally that day.
You did. That was awful.
You kind of, because what happened is that, like, in that scenario, like you said, is that we had tested it all. We had tested every single one of those internet connections, and the city had turned it off that night. Like, yeah. We didn't know and didn't know, right? And so, that event started with, I think we had, was it all of them? I can't remember if it was all of them or was like we had like 2 or 3 fields.
We got up to, but I think we were running those off of
CFG, like
that we had brought
internet.
Yeah.
So that's right. So the fields that we were, like field 1, and then all of those 14, 15, all of the fields that were running on their internet were down.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was not pretty.
No,
it was terrible. It was terrible because we were supposed to go live at 9, and I don't think we got everything live until 11-ish, right? Because I remember going over to the trailer and getting on with the IT people, and amazing, like, how quickly. That's one of the things that, like, one of the secrets of this job is that the IT people can do it quickly. They just need the right motivation to do it quickly.
Right.
But they came back to us and essentially said that they had switched it off, or the timer had gone off, or any of those kinds of things. But what do you feel like in that moment? Are there any specific memories of, like, problem solving through that like stand out to you?
I mean, we got it figured out in the end, but just the pressure and the stress of that, and having people be so angry and upset that it wasn't live, and knowing it wasn't our fault, but
people still very, very, very frustrated.
Yeah,
it goes along with
yeah.
Can you think of what are some of the top moments in the last 5 years? Like, what are moments that you look back and see, as a couple that we've done together, or within goals itself? Like, what's something that you are the most proud of from a Game On Life Studio perspective? We'll talk about that first.
Um, I don't know. That just kind of feels like every time we complete a big event, like we talked before about how with JOs you went from 2 pools to 4 pools to last year doing 20 like that. That's awesome. And rugby in Florida to get everything there, get it staffed, get it set up. I mean, it just feels like a big accomplishment once we get through.
Once we get through, yeah, once we get through it. Do you love that? Do you like that? Do you hate that? Like, how do you feel like in the moment with those
I
competitions?
love it when it's done.
You love it when it's
When it's
done.
done and it was successful. Yeah.
Okay. As opposed to if it doesn't start on time and
Yeah.
you don't love that.
Yeah.
You love it when people yell at you at the chat, though. That's
Yeah.
your
It's one of
favorite
my
thing.
favorites. Yeah.
Can you think of one of your favorite chats of all time when we over the last 5 years, or like moments of like,
I had to stop looking at the chat.
do you remember the time when the guy sent us this is how the internet works?
Oh, yes.
That
But
was
that's
great.
happened more than once.
Yeah.
Yes. Trying to explain to us.
Those people in the chat really just have our best interest in heart.
Always.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, fantastic. So, from a, I want you to think back across maybe your life. Maybe that's big picture. Maybe it's not too like. What is one of the thing? Can be anything. What are you? One of the things you're most proud of as a woman?
My kids.
All right. Talk to me about your kids. Our kids, I should say. I shouldn't talk to them about them that way. What do you love about your kids? Why are you so proud of them?
I just think it's been one of the most rewarding, hardest. Being a parent is one of the hardest and most rewarding jobs. I don't know what to call it.
Yeah, it's a job.
Out of the, um, it's just awesome to see them become their own individuals and see what they do. And our kids are awesome.
Our kids are pretty cool. Like, you have to be careful. You don't want to brag about your kids, but we're gonna maybe brag about our kids here a little bit. Think of I want you to, and maybe what what. So I want you to talk about this. You are an incredible mom, right?
Thanks.
You are. You're an incredible mom. You have always been actively involved in their scholastics, all of those kinds of things. What are the things that you consciously do to feel like that you've had an influence on your kids? Like, what's one of the things over the last? Our oldest son Jonas is 27 years old. Like, in the last 27 years, like the thing that you focus on monthly, weekly, daily to make sure that the kids feel like they have our support or your support.
I don't know. What do you see that I do? That's a hard. I feel like I try to pick up anytime they call. I just try to let them know that I have their back all the time.
How do you do that?
Answering every time they call.
How do you,
And
how did, how
when
did you
they
do,
come and want to talk,
how did you do
being
that?
available.
So if I were another mom
Mm.
of that was 25, 26 years old, just starting to have babies, right? What advice would you give them?
What advice would I give them? I don't just be there and try to enjoy it. Like it's interesting. I think that I enjoy Peter more than I enjoyed Jonas, not because of Jonas, but because I'm able to be more relaxed about everything,
Okay.
or just able to enjoy it more as opposed to being worried about every everything that could happen or might happen. Or
Right. Right. How has your parenting style changed then?
oh, I'm way more relaxed.
How come?
Because I think I have a better big picture view that some of those little things that seemed so important aren't.
What do you think? Name one or two of those things that back when we were having babies for the first time, Jonas is 4, 5, 6, that you felt like, man, this is the biggest deal of all time. And now,
Felt like now. Yeah.
and now, 20, 5 years later you look back and go, oh yeah, that was like that. I should have
Most
trusted that.
most things. Most things.
Okay.
I want my kids to be kind. I want them to be uh good contributing members to society. I want them to feel like they have to put in some work, but they need to treat people well, and most of the rest of it
Would you
isn't
still
important.
enforce a 7:30 bedtime?
Maybe. Maybe.
Would you like what and so I mean, and I want to be careful of saying this like we're bragging about our own kids, but like they're pretty cool human beings, right? Like
Right.
we've done an okay job. Like we're not gonna sit here and pat ourselves on the back, but like 5 for 5, definitely kind of moving in the right direction, making good choices, all for the most part, all of those kinds of things. Like what are, but I'm curious. Like I'm the mom sitting across the table. Like what's something specific that seemed totally overwhelming at the time, right, as a mom, that you would say to that new mom, like, man, this is how you should, this is how you should chill around this.
Grades,
Okay.
which I still feel are super important, but they're not everything. And once kids graduate, no one ever asks their GPA again, and it doesn't reflect on who they are.
And do you think that, like, so do you feel like you hurt relationships because of focus on that
Yeah.
one way or the other?
Yes.
And how would you, like, what's a specific strategy? Like, you don't want your kids to fail out, right? But like, what would you do as a parent of a new parent who's a kid has a kid in 5th grade, right? And they're coming back and they're not turning in assignments or they're not doing, like, how would you encourage?
Figure out how to support, figure out why they don't want to turn in assignments rather than just being upset that they're not doing it. Delve more into the why.
Got it. Uh, I want to ask you this question because I think this is something that you've been amazing at, right, as a mom. Is what you're a voracious reader. You love to read, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of those. What do you think that has come naturally to our kids, or do you feel like they're something that you did, something that we did? Because pretty much 5 out of 5, they're really enjoy reading, right? Like how,
For the most
which I think is unique, right? In which I feel is unique in the world now. Like, is there what are some of the things that, because that's definitely your department, right? Like
right.
like what how do you feel like you brought that out of them as children?
Read all the time, went to the library all the time, like it was just part of our routine
Right.
that you'd go to the library and you pick books
And how did you make that
and
fun?
I don't know, it just was fun. We had like I don't know, we did like readathons in the summer, let them pick their treats, let them I don't know, but they have for the most part just liked to read, so
But do you think that is nature or nurture?
some of both probably.
Um, I think one of the things that's interesting to me is that, I mean, we tease about it in our family one way or the other of like teaching your kids to read in 100 days. Do you think that those early intervention type things, preschool, having them, like you had a goal as a mom to have them be able to read by the time they got to kindergarten.
Yeah.
Is that fair? Is that
Yeah.
true? Do you think that kind of stuff has impact?
Yeah. Cuz I think they started school with confidence in their ability to do that already.
Cool. And what, like, and expand from that. Like you have worked in as PTA president, you've worked on every community council for years and years and years. Like, what are some of the things that you have done personally to advocate for that kind of stuff for our school, for the school system, for the schools that, like, the
I
school our kids have attended?
I don't know. I don't know if that's one that we've done. I look at it now, it just isn't emphasized as much. It might still be in elementary schools, but it is not emphasized as much in high school. Kids don't read in English. The number of books that we used to read, they don't write as much.
How can we change that?
I don't know. I'm thinking about that all the time. I don't know.
What are some of, you have the, like,
I don't have the answers yet.
I don't have an answer, but do you have like like a thing like again now because again like you think of Samantha, right? Samantha went through a phase which totally I feel like personally like influenced her future where was it fourth, fifth, sixth grade right in there where she started reading Harry Potter and like literally wore out the entire series of the
Right.
books, right?
Right.
Is that do you how do you are there ways to for the school system or for parents or for moms or for dads to encourage that?
We're combating phones. Kids don't have the attention span to sit and read like that anymore.
So do you think we should take their phones away?
Yes, I
Okay.
do. I do.
Because I mean, for your community council, some of your community council stuff, like that's a new thing, right?
Yeah.
And is that what's some of the pushback and or pop pros that have come from that, like in terms of creating that additional literacy? Is that maybe the right word to say? Use.
Well, we haven't worked so much on creating additional literacy. We worked a little bit on having phones not be available during school so much.
And what's been your has there been pushback to that?
Some. Sometimes parents are worried they won't be able to get a hold of their kids, won't be able to send them messages or let them know. But overall, within the school, it's been a positive impact. Less less fights, less meeting in the bathroom for bullying. Kids, junior high level, they can't have it at lunch, so they talk more at lunch, play more at lunch. It's all been positive.
Right. Do you have any other think about like again think about your involvement in the school system and the community council like are there other big challenges find your challenge right are there any big challenges that you're facing as a in the community that you feel like what's the question like that are impacting kids yeah
AI within schools is a big one
okay
because kids are using AI as opposed to writing their own, coming up with their own ideas. Like they're losing the ability to do that on their own.
they're losing the ability, but are they taking away the ability to learn that new tool for the workforce, or is it they're just using it to write it as opposed to use it as a way to craft?
Right.
Like,
I think there's a difference. I think we could work to teach how to use it as a tool, but not as a substitute for doing your own work.
right? No, for sure. And so is it? I don't know. Right now, is AI banned in schools now?
They try. I mean, they have tools that are supposed to pick up when it's being used, and you can have repercussions from that. But how good those are, I don't know.
Got it. What do you feel like um, of out? And maybe AI is the answer, right? Like, what do you feel like are? Let's do it this way. Maybe this is a cool question. What do you feel like our older kids um, didn't have to deal with that maybe our younger kids do, right? And that like if you were a parent today of a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old, what would keep you up at night?
Well, our older kids didn't have social media, which was good. I mean, they didn't have that pressure also of like, oh, everyone else has a phone. I don't have. Phones are still a big part of it and what you can access, and I think people give their kids phones way too young. I think we did with a couple of our kids. I could,
Gave them phones too young?
uh
Who do you think we gave them too young to?
probably both Amelia and Megan.
Okay. What's your time? When do you think it should happen?
Not before high school.
Okay.
I mean, having a text, being able to text would be one thing, but not a smartphone.
Do you feel like we did was okay with Peter though?
Yeah, he wasn't happy though.
Right. And that's all right.
Yeah.
I think that's one of my parenting.
Do you think we did a good job with that?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I think it's interesting now. Like Jonas, the oldest kid. I mean, when an iPhone came out, like he was a tween, right, at that time, right? So it really wasn't even like we're going to buy an iPhone for this 14-year-old or 13-year-old at the time, right?
Right.
Um, and I think it's interesting, like the relationship with social media, like to that phone. Like, I mean, Jonas and Samantha don't love social media, really
Nope.
don't participate in it at all. Amelia and Megan both do, and Peter probably sneaks it. Let's be honest, right? Probably sneaks it, but like, so I mean, I think it's been interesting to see their different relationships with social media. I mean,
Yeah.
clearly
But
Amelia is
Megan's off of most.
right, but I think it's also been interesting to watch um, to see how they have kind of dabbled in it and
Yeah.
then decided like
Right.
I don't want to do that, right?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? I mean, you're the one, you have a lot of conversations with them. Like, why do you feel like they choose not to participate?
Uh, because they end up having hurt feelings or feeling left out when they see things that they weren't invited to or a part of, and so it's just easier that and recognizing that it's sometimes just a big time waste.
Right. Yeah. It's interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens in social media, right?
Yeah.
If you fast forward 10 years from now to see how it's used, where it's being used, all that kind of good stuff. How's your relationship with social media?
It's a love-hate relationship.
Say more.
I hate that I get sucked into, but I like it for being able to see, my kids who do have social media. I like to see them post and see what they're doing um but it's a time sucker.
Right. Right. What do you think? Oh, what was I just going to ask? What do you feel like if, again, so go back to being Melissa the teacher, right? Melissa the mentor of a new mom. You've got a new mom coming in. They have 4 or 5 kids coming up, maybe 2 or 3 kids coming up because families are smaller. When would you say get a phone? Like high school? Like
High school.
you're
Yeah.
as a ninth grader? How like Gab phone, iPhone?
No,
What's your
I would
strategy?
definitely start with one of those that Gab, or I don't remember what the other's called,
Yeah,
True Me or something that has texting capabilities but doesn't have all of the other
cool.
stuff.
All right, all right. Um, I have a couple more questions, but do you want to ask me some questions?
What's the thing you're most proud of, I guess?
What's the mo
That took us off on a whole tangent
It
there.
did. That was a good comment though. What most proud of our kids?
No, if in you asked me what I was most proud of in my life,
Oh,
and that was my answer. So what are you?
I mean, I can legitimately say I am very proud of uh our kids. I think that they're amazing. I think that we have done an okay job of not ruining them. Like they're
That's still to be seen.
like I think that I like that. Um, I I think it's fantastic that we are 31, call it 32, 33 years into a relationship and that we still really like each other. I think that's amazing, right?
Yeah.
And I say that there are definitely times where um, we I think we always love each other. There are
Right. Right.
definitely I don't think that's gone away. There are definitely times in the ebbs and flows of like sometimes I'm really hard to like and sometimes you're really hard to like, but that I feel like we do a pretty good job of managing that.
Right.
I'm proud of that. I do think that there's still more things that we can do better, but I am really proud of what we've built with goals. Like that's it's been exhausting. I'm excited for the next 5 years, uh, probably more so than I was like in October of 2020, where
Right.
the 5 years that we've been through, like,
Right.
I think that as we move forward, like, we did that silly thing last week where we made the 100-year, the 50-year plan, right, of what we're looking at. I think that when we're 85, we look back to the time when we're 48 to 52 and go, whoa, that was a life-changing period of time,
Yeah.
right? Um, I'm really, I feel really proud of how we the opportunity that we created coming out of COVID, because that was like that whole thing where I left Orion in December of 2019, went to Incorporate Massage, helped rebrand to Zenovate. That kind of dried up. I mean, we were stuck with nothing at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
And so I think that's really cool. I think another thing that deserves talking about in terms of things that we should be proud of is what we built with Olympus Aquatics. I mean, I think
Yep.
it's pretty amazing to look at, right? And the impact that we've had both in our community as well as in the state, and the ability to kind of grow and do cool things and have great athletes come out of that, right? And great human beings. So that's what I'm proud of. I'm proud of our kids.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
I'm proud of Mitty. I know you're not. Mitty is our 8-month puppy, and he's the best trained dog we've ever had. I know he's not perfect
He's
yet,
got
but
some work to do still.
he
But
still has. But like considering comparison to our other dogs, like, um, I think it's interesting, right? Like looking at me, like that's a challenge. We decided to go into that, and like, but it's like a little microcosm, right? Of like we talk about this all the time, like the dog, Mitty, thrives on being trained,
yeah.
right? He thrives on like, hey, I want that structure. I want to heel. I want to sit. I want to go to place. I want to do all of those kinds of things. And when he's not being stimulated, maybe is the wrong word, where he's not constructively involved in something, like that's when he pees on the floor, like I think that's really, or choose a book, like in any of those things. And I think that's very insightful and can be applied to other stuff as well, right? What other questions do you have? You're the host.
You were asking the questions. I just
no, you're the host.
turned one back on you.
You're the host now. For the you have 2 questions.
Oh dear, I'm not ready for that.
Okay. Anything?
Not yet.
Okay. Let's talk about our 55-year-old plan. 55-year plan. Can we do that? Should that be?
Yeah, I mean, you mostly drew that out, so that's your sure.
Okay. So, one of the things that we have been very focused on as a couple, throughout our lives, I would say, but like we have really tried to focus on more in the last couple of years, is our own health and wellness, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's the do you have a physical accomplishment, like just that you're, I don't know if I keep coming back to most proud of, but like what do you look back into and say like, oh man, this has really been good for us, or good for you, or good for me from a health and wellness standpoint, to be where we are now as 50 somethings?
Exercise is always good. I just wish I loved it more, I guess. I don't know. I guess just that we've mostly maintained that over the years.
Yeah.
It's hard to do with kids and jobs and travel. And
But why do you think it was easier? Maybe I'm putting words in your mouth here. Why do you think it was easier as 30 somethings with small kids than now with adult kids?
Because everything had to be so tightly scheduled then. Like you knew you had to get up and exercise before the kids got up. That was your only opportunity. Now it's easier to say, "Oh, I'll do that later today." So sometimes it's easier to. It just had to be done that way in those years.
So you have a master's degree in exercise physiology. What
I'm proud of that too, I guess.
that's pretty amazing, right? That's pretty cool. And
I guess because I was the first one of my siblings to get a master's degree. So,
and you did it in 18 months.
Well, that was
tell that story.
Out of necessity.
That was a challenge.
It was a challenge.
Talk about that a little bit.
Well, I mean, started school and then.
Well, it was kind of interesting. Like went to Oregon. We went to Oregon, like
go to graduate school. Yes.
And we could talk about this for ages, right? Where like would you say we went to Oregon on a whim? Like I applied to 3 or 4 schools, right? You had just finished in 1996. I applied. We got into Oregon. We got into a couple. We decided, hey, you wanted to go to the Northwest. So we
Right.
went up there. We had no guarantee that you were going to be in graduate
Yeah, that
school,
I would get.
right?
Yeah.
Like I had graduated from the University of Utah in 1995. I had worked that next year, kind of took a gap year until 96. You graduated at 96. I enrolled fall of 96. You took
Just work
year,
that year. Yeah.
that year up there. And then like I was on a 2-year program and we had no guarantee really that you were going to get into school up there or what you were going to do. Like, I mean, talk about like life just kind of happening. Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. Did I? I don't remember thinking about that. I don't know if I just assumed
Right.
that I would
Like
get in. I don't know.
we just kind of went with,
Hindsight, after looking at, having Samantha go through graduate school applications, I'm kind of like, should I have been
more.
concerned
Yeah.
about that? I don't know. I don't remember that being a huge issue. Did I just assume? I don't know.
Right.
I mean, I graduated with decent grades and stuff. So it
Fantastic
wasn't,
grades.
but yeah, in hindsight, maybe I should have been more concerned
And I'm
about
trying to
that.
remember, like as we went through that, like it was because had gone through an entire year of school. You came in that following fall,
Right.
and didn't you do it? You would have to have done it in a year because we both graduated at the same time.
Yeah,
You walked at the same time.
I had to finish classes that summer though. I did walk
Oh,
with you, but still
there were a couple
finished.
classes.
Yeah, because I didn't finish my
That's right. So because we walked in
my
May,
comps 2 weeks before Jonas was born.
right? And so for all of you listeners out there, I'll brag about her. She not only did all of this, but did it while being pregnant with Jonas the last for 9 months, right?
So,
The last 9 months of her graduate degree, and you finished comps and did everything literally
like
10 days, 2 weeks
something
before
like that
Jonas was
before
born,
Jonas.
right?
Yeah.
Was that a challenge?
Yeah, yeah. It's not. I wouldn't have chosen to do it that way. That wasn't the plan to do it that way.
Right.
But
Cool. Good job. I'm proud of you for that. I think that's it's stories like that that's amazing. I think that is amazing about you, right? Is that you have that just super quiet grit that a lot of people could learn from you for.
thank you.
What do you? So let's go back to exercise. We've been putting a lot of effort on that. I feel like we've done a pretty good job of building a routine, both separately and together. Let's focus on the positive for a second. We'll go with the Sean Stringham mode of eternal optimism, as opposed to the Melissa Stringham mode of like
Realism.
realism.
We call it
Yeah.
realism.
What do you love about that process? Well, talk through the process. Like what do you love about it? Like what, in terms of the systems that we're building?
It's just good to have systems, to have a routine, to have something that you fall back on or just do because it is automatic at this point.
Right. Do you feel automatic in it? We kind of had that conversation this morning or yesterday, I think.
It's still a choice, but still have to decide to do it every day, but it's set up to be
And
easier.
talk about your routine right now. Like what are the things that you're trying to focus on? What are the things that as a 50 plus woman, mom of 5 adult children, 4 adult children and 1 teenager, like what are you trying to focus on and why?
Lifting mainly, just because that's what all the studies show for longevity, for extended, what's the right terminology, to extend your good health,
Right.
I guess.
Your health span.
Your health span as
Yeah.
opposed to your lifespan, having that building muscle is one of the
Right.
most important things.
So if we were to go into Dr. Peter Attia mode, who I love you, Dr. Peter Attia, that we want to encourage and grow that health span, right? That overall health span, so that marginal decade, that final decade is stronger, right, than not. And I think like it's funny to me, like we mentioned this a little bit this morning, or we talked you can tell that we talk about it a lot, because what Peter said to you this morning, right? Like
Yeah.
it's not a typical 16-year-old who comes up to you and says,
Well, I was having a hard time. I was dressed to go out to the gym and work out and said, I'm just struggling to go out there. He says, I understand it. And then he turned and said, you should go out there so that you are not sitting in a nursing home all by yourself with no visitors. And then he did say, wait, I would come and visit you, but it would be better if you went to work out so that I didn't have to come visit you in a nursing home.
so words from the babes, right? Like
Right.
to try to build that out. So I built the plan. I sat down, and again, because of from the 60-minute interview that I saw with Peter Attia, I've said like it comes into distinct focus of what you're training for when you map out the last 50 years of your life.
Right.
And so I sat down for an hour last Sunday and did that. And like, okay, here I am at 53. Here's Jonah, Samantha, Amelia, Megan, Peter. Here's Melissa. Where we kind of thought about like it was kind of a fun like we texted all the kids or called all the kids and said like who do you think's gonna get married when? Like none of my kids are married yet. And we'll for those of you who might be listening, it's a whole different podcast. But like let's get that taken care of. Or not all of them, but like let's start moving down that pathway a little bit. Like who's gonna get married when are they gonna start having kids? And so we kind of did some guesstimation across like, oh, we should expect to have our first grandkid in, I can't remember, like within it feels like within 5 or 6 years, maybe.
Right.
Like that seems manageable. And so you have your oldest grandkid then, and how old are you in 5 or 6 years? Well, I'm almost crap sakes, like I'm almost 60 at that point, right? And then they start having all these kids, and we kind of said, well, we asked each of the kids, like, how many kids do you think you want to have, right? And like some say one, some say 3 or 4, like you don't know. So I think what the number we came up with, there's the average number, typical number, like most likely was like
10 to 15.
10 to 15 grandkids, right? And so you look then and you fast forward, like go down that pathway of like, where are you when you're 80? When are you 85, right? One of the other kind of key things is that one of the things that has been said is like people fall off the ledge at 75. Like, can you stay healthy and active until 75? And then from 75 on there, can you put yourself in a situation where you can be functional,
Right.
right, in your 80s and 90s? If my intent, right, is to live into my 90s. My grandparents have lived into their 90s. We've got good genetics. We've got to keep the Alzheimer's at bay there a little bit, right? But as we worked that out, and I put this hashtag on that Instagram post that I put this morning, is that do it for 105, because our 105th. So if you add up us to our kids plus their spouses, and then you take our grandkids and add their spouses there, it's very likely that if that will work out, that we would have our 105th
So you want to live long enough
to
for
see
your 150th
fifth, yes,
austerity.
austerity, right? Because the grandkids then start having kids, so your great grandkids, like a couple of grandkids, by 97 is when you would hit 105.
That's if everybody.
That's everyone stays on. It's got to stay on the plan. But like it's interesting to look about, like you think about like, oh, do you want to have influence on those kids? Do you want to have an opportunity to have a relationship with those kids, right? Do you understand? Like, so like I think helps to answer quite specifically, like, what are you training for? Like, just do it so that you can know that kid.
Right.
So anyway, um, what other important things are you focusing on right now, that you feel like you're doing? Like maybe you're not doing a great job at, but you feel like there's some serious upside if you can continue to maintain that habit.
Other than exercise in general?
Yeah.
But still having a desire to learn.
Okay.
Keep learning new things, new skills.
What are some of the topics that you want to learn about?
Oh, I do a lot of. It's about exercise and nutrition right now.
But that's always interest to you, right?
I don't know. At this point, I'm kind of like, oh, what skill do I want to learn? What new thing do I wish I had learned that I haven't yet? That now that I maybe have some more time,
Drop
I'm taking ideas right now.
drop a bomb. Like, what's something that you don't think that I know about that you want to learn about?
I don't know that there is something
Oh,
like
there's gotta be
that.
something. Like, is there a skill or something fun or like something that you want to learn about that I don't know about?
Not that I can think of. Do you
Oh,
have something
no.
that I wouldn't know about?
Well, I want to surf.
But yeah, I know that. That's what I'm. You're asking me to come up with something that you don't know, and that's what's
What's something that you maybe I do know that you want to do?
um. I want to go back to school. I want to
And
learn to knit.
you want to learn to
I
knit?
want to learn to knit.
Grandma Melissa wants to know wants to be able to put out throw pillows. I love it. Okay, cool. Well, what else should we talk about?
Maybe we're good for this episode.
I
I don't
have
know.
lightning round questions.
Oh no.
I texted the kids and said, "All right,
Oh no.
I'm doing a pop mom interview. Give me some lightning round questions." So I don't even know what we have here,
Oh
but we're
dear.
going to go through a few of them
Are
here.
you sure
Let's
they're
see.
all appropriate?
Um, oh, there's the good ones here. All right, from Samantha. Are you ready?
No. Oh no.
Samantha's asking, "Who's your favorite child?"
I knew that was gonna come up. They are all my favorite.
They're all your favorite. Are they all your favorite simultaneously, or do they kind of ebb and flow based on their current situation?
I love them all equally, but this sometimes you like some more than others.
And what are the things that they do that make them not be liked? Let's give a teaching moment to these five humans.
Sometimes they're just punks.
Okay.
That's just their normal.
I do want to ask this question. One of the amazing things about Melissa and her relationship with her daughters, especially, her sons live with her, so that's what do you feel like you have done to like this is an amazing thing, and I have lots of gratitude is that they want to talk to you every single day. Why do you think that is?
It's I don't know. Just it's always good to touch base to see
That
how they're
what
doing.
have you done to foster that? Because they're the ones who initiate it over and over, right?
Um, I don't know. I just try to always. I've always tried to be involved in their lives. Want to know what's going on and support them. And I think they've always liked to come and tell me what's going on.
And so again, go back to that. You're a mentor of these other young moms. As what do you feel like now as college kids? All three of them are away at college, right? What do you feel like you did in as a 5, 6, 8, 10 year old relationship for them to say, like, what's something specific that you feel like you did that makes them want to
Show interest
trust you?
in what they're interested in, even if I'm not. There are some things that they love that I could care less about, but just try to show. I mean, even now, it's like one of them will mention a show, and it's like, okay, I'll start watching the show so we can.
Right.
Or they're reading a book, so I'll read the book so we can talk about it. Like,
Cool.
just try to stay involved in what they're doing.
Cool. All right. Jonas, lightning round question here is what is your least favorite holiday?
Maybe it's Halloween. I don't know for sure. um, it might be Halloween. Might be my least favorite.
Why is Halloween your least favorite?
I don't know. It always is so much work and
It was a lot of work this past year,
no,
right?
it wasn't as scary. I know it isn't anymore. Maybe it'll become a favorite. I don't know. I don't my and it doesn't. My favorite ones are like Thanksgiving and Christmas. But it's more and Easter ones that are more family and gratitude oriented. And Halloween just doesn't have that.
Holiday theme though, follow-up question. What is one or two of your favorite of our favorite holiday traditions across all the holidays? Do you have any one or two that like just you would never want to let go of?
Is this from our kids?
That's a follow-up.
Oh, do you have an answer to that?
No, because I'm asking you.
Well, you're gonna have to answer it too. Um, I don't know if there's something that I would never give up if it were being replaced with something good. I just like whatever has everyone together. Like, I like our beignets. I like our
Right.
just things that bring the kids home.
Yeah. I think
I like the things we do, but I don't know if there's anything that if you didn't offer a replacement, I'd be like, no, I'll never give that up. I'll have to think about that one.
okay. All right.
What about for you?
I think one of my favorite is beignets for sure. Like that has turned into something that's been very cool, right? Where we do those on conferences and then
Christmas.
at Christmas. Like, I think that's really important. I love, and you'll be surprised with this, I love things like March 4th, like
Oh yeah,
the
you
are
like all the little
like
holidays.
non-holidays of where like it's just us doing string things that are a little bit crazy, right?
Right.
So March 4th, for those of you who don't know, is we find mops and whistles and turn on John Philip Sousa and march around the house because you have to.
March 4th.
March 4th, yeah.
On March 4th.
On March 4th. From Amelia, you ready? What's a hill you will die on?
I'll die on. Oh. Yeah, I still put 2 spaces after my period. 2 spaces after the periods. I don't know if I'm just stop it though.
Way to go, Boomer.
I know. So true. I'm trying to break that habit, but I have to think about it.
Okay.
A hill that I will always die on. I think relationships are the most important thing.
Okay.
Like if it's someone that you really care about, then whatever has happened or whatever they're doing or whatever wrong you see, the relationship is the most important thing.
That's awesome.
And needing to figure out how to overlook, move forward.
Yeah. Cool. Very cool. You'll be surprised to know that Megan didn't respond.
Nope, not surprised at
all. Great. Melissa, thanks for being here. This is this is fun. I really appreciate you being willing and being brave. I think that you are not my greatest challenge. I know that I am one of your greatest challenges. So I just want to really express gratitude for helping me, dealing with me, putting up with me, and it's a tall order and a big task, and I just want to let you know that I love you. So appreciate it.
Love you too.
Cool.
Glad that you are the one who gets to be in front of the mic most of the time.
I think we're gonna make this. I think we're gonna make this part of the show, though. Don't you think?
We'll
like,
see.
Ask Melissa. We'll see. We can see what we do.
We'll see.
All right. I'm gonna give you. Do you have any parting thoughts?
No.
Okay. Hey, Sean Stringham here with Melissa Stringham, and episode 1 of the Find Your Challenge podcast. Wow. I'm sure that we'll look back at this and laugh in many, many years, hopefully. If you made it this far, you're probably our parents. Let's just be honest. And if you haven't already, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, all of those kinds of things. Shout out to Chloe Cheney here, who's doing our audio, video, sound. And we're thrilled to have her be a part of the team. Thanks, Chloe. And great start. Let's move forward from here. Peace.